Hey, and welcome to the third episode of my new podcast. Today I'm going to talk about romantic orientations and coming out. I didn't realize how many people didn't know the difference between sexual and romantic orientation. Actually, it's quite logical. Sexual orientation is who you are sexually attracted to, and romantic orientation is who you're romantically attracted to. Most people may still be aware of this, but that one person can have another sexual orientation than romantic orientation, many people don't know. I think that many people think something like, she's bisexual, then she's also biromantic. But it doesn't have to be. It's also possible that this bisexual person is heteroromantic or aromantic or whatever. In general, if you don't know a person well, you shouldn't assume anything. I think it's also wrong to assume that all people you meet are heterosexual. It may be the social norm at the moment, but that's no reason to assume such things. You should simply approach new people openly and not form any prejudices. It's best to start from nothing, but simply get to know the person. I am panromantic, as I mentioned in the last episode. That means I can be romantically attracted to people regardless of their gender identity. I noticed this rather sneakily. I think the first hint came when I dreamed that a lesbian from my school kissed me. A few weeks later, I noticed more and more that I was romantically attracted to a non-binary person. By that time, I already knew that I was asexual, but until then, I just thought I was heteroromantic. But once I knew, I was and I am still quite proud of it. And that people can't even get the idea that I'm aromantic because of my asexuality, I always say right away what my romantic orientation is, then there are no misunderstandings. I came out to my friends and a few acquaintances long ago. To some of them I told it personally, to others I wrote it via chat. They all reacted very well and accepted me just as I am, and I'm very happy about that. But with my family it looked a bit different. My parents are rather old-fashioned and therefore they have an outdated idea of some things like relationships, marriages and so on. I knew from the beginning that it wouldn't be easy to come out to them, and I knew that I would only talk about my romantic orientation. That would be difficult enough. And with my asexuality it would get much worse because I knew that my parents would come up with arguments like, "You are way too young to know," or "You just have to have sex first." Above all, I don't really want to talk to my parents about all the sexual experiences I have had, so I just wanted to come out halfway. The first time I tried it was in December 2019 with my mother. I had told her that I not only like men but also people with other gender identities. However, I hadn't expressed myself precisely enough and certainly hadn't used terms like panromantic, and that's why she thought I meant that I just like being friends with people like that. But I only noticed this later. And so about a month later I talked about it again and became more concrete and told her about the people I was in love with or with whom I almost had a relationship were just not cis men. But she still didn't want to understand it completely. It seemed to me as if she would only really understand it when I really have a relationship with someone like that. In the meantime, I came out to my sister, who is younger than me. With her I even came out completely and she had reacted extremely well. She even said she thought I was cooler now. That was a really successful day. After that I tried my mother again. It lasted for months. It only worked completely a few weeks ago when I went for a walk with her and I told her that I met a great girl. Then I also used the term panromantic and explained it to her. We talked about it for quite a while and now I can happily say that she finally understood. She can't quite understand why I feel this way, but at least she seems to accept it. Now, actually, only my father is left. He knows almost nothing, and since even my mother said that it could get harder with him, I have a lot of respect for coming out to him. I probably won't be doing that for a while. For those of you who care if my mom thinks I want to have sex with all genders, I explained to her that I'm panromantic, and I also told her that I don't intend to have sex with anyone. So I also indirectly told her that I'm ace. I'm very happy with the way things are right now. And now I will go in more into coming out because I was also asked for tips. Of course, I can only speak from my own experience and what I've heard. The most important thing is that you are still safe after you're coming out. That means that you have an environment where you don't endanger yourself by coming out. If you know that the people you want to tell are very homophobic, don't come out. Don't do it. If you don't know how the people think about queer people, then talk to them about something like that. Try to find out what they think about it, and don't get discouraged if they don't show that much understanding. As long as they aren't against such people, you can, if you want, come out to them and explain everything to them. Then maybe their understanding will change. Another important point is, of course, that you only do it when you really feel ready for it. Don't stress yourself. Just take your time. If you are wondering how to come out, there are, of course, different possibilities. If you feel safe enough, you can tell the people that you want to talk to them and sit down with them. If you prefer, write a message or a letter. I just heard from someone who told his brother and wrote the letter. The person then went for a walk outside while the brother made sure that the parents read the letter and had some time for themselves. It went very well, the person said. And if you like, you can prepare a presentation and come out like that. What someone who has been outing to everyone for years recommended to me: give people links to good explanations so that they can find out more by themselves if necessary. So, if you feel ready and know that you are safe, then nothing stands in the way of your outing. I wish you good luck. When you have done it, you will feel so incredibly good. Even if maybe not all people react as well as you hoped, if they love you, they will accept you. And if you're not ready for that, it's okay. As long as if you're safe and comfortable, everything's okay. And whether you're outed, still planning, or never want to do it at all, it's your decision and you're not alone.